Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, what if you can retension on the fly, on the court? Make your strings tighter on the court without restringing. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so a lot of people in the last few years have been wanting fresh, like super fresh string jobs. Literally right off the machine, not one, but sometimes two, sometimes three. So I thought I would revisit a Retenser that I did a while ago and basically maybe solve a problem, because people want fresh string jobs. Tight. What if you can tighten it on the court? Well, that's why I wanted to revisit the Retenser units. So these things are actually really simple. You string these into your racket and then you can literally tighten them as much as half a kilo up to 3 kilos. So, depending on which one you choose. I would say most people are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take 1.5 to 3 kilos. So, there's two different units. This is if you have 6 grommet holes on the bridge. This is if you have 8. So, I call these things spokes. So, depending on what your racket is like will depend on which one you use. Now these little cylinders will determine how much or how many kilos you will be able to add. The orange one, which I like, is going to be 1.5 to 3 kilos. So you'll be able to add 1.5 with 1 click, 3 kilos with 2 clicks. The white one, you can add 1 kilo at a time for up to 2. 1 click will be add 1, another click will be add 2 total. The baby blue will be half a kilo on 1 click and 1 full kilo on 2 clicks. Okay? And that 1 kilo, 2 kilo, 3 kilo will be the max you will be able to add. The guys over at Retenser wanted to make sure the structure of your racket is not going to be damaged. So 3 kilos is as much as you can add. All right. So for those of you who are worried about your racket, it will be fine. Okay. Now, I took my own racket here. I put the grommet system already in. As you can see, there's 6 of them. As you can see, some of them aren't straight. Now, I did that on purpose because they did this on purpose so that they angle it just like where the holes sit. So it will lay flushed. And they made it simple for you because they numbered it for you. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on all of these. And I'll give you a better shot at this. See, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 on both of them, okay? So literally 1, 2, 3, and 4 would be out here if there were 8 holes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just follow the guide. Follow the guide, okay? And then they also gave us these little plates that will go right there, holding these in. And I'm going to show you that a little bit later because it's going to, I have to find the right one. There's 2 different ones. See, it sits right there like that. And then the black goes like that. Okay. But I'm going to put it on the machine and then I'll show you what needs to be done. Okay. There's a second plate too, but we only need one. It just depends on how it sits on your racket. It looks like this one sits pretty well. All right, so I chose the one that fits the best with the angle of the racket. and then there's a plus and a minus here. We want the minus to be up like that. We put this with this. All right, it doesn't snap in, but it stays in. We look for the minus and it's facing up. Where my grommets are lined up, and it snaps right in there, okay? So it won't hold though. It will not hold. So you will have to hold it. And then you put the string through, like so, while holding everything. I'm gonna get one of the spokes, and I'm going to string it through right here. What we want is for that spoke to sit firmly right there, the opening, and for it to be firm. That's the way we want it, okay? To sit right there. So that's perfect. So the spoke is sitting firm in its little cradle, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen and how we're going to be able to basically add tension. Make sure I get my 50-50 going. Ready to pull, number 1. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull number 2. So the next one, we string it through the center. We make sure that it's going to sit right. So there's a way this thing sits. And if it sits without moving, you're good. So that's not moving because it needs to be flushed. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my last spoke and put it through. See, you're going to know when it doesn't sit right because it's going to not be flushed. So what we're going to do is just take it out, and then flip it to the other side and insert it back. And now it should sit flushed, which it does now, okay? So no movement, no spaces, it just fits right in. You'll know. Okay, so these are all lined up, just like so. I'm gonna finish up the string job, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so just finished stringing. As you can see, solid in. Now, this is the key to my tennis tension for this racket with the Retenser units. Now, I put the key in, I pull down, 1 click equals 1.5 kilos. Click down again on that second click will be 3 total kilos. I do it for all 3 of these. I do not want to do it now because it's a fresh string job. I'm going to take that second one and grab a coach's racket and do the same to theirs. Let's go and play, wait until it loses a bit of tension, and then retens, add some kilos back, and see if we can get it back to like a fresh string job. All right, see you on the court.
tension to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going right there with it. And let's check the DT, dynamic tension, with the ERT, 28. 28. Ooh. Yeah, I can kind of understand why you want to crank it up, or you need a little tighter tension now. 28 is literally 41 pounds, according to the gauge. Okay, well, let's crank it up. Let's crank it up. We're going to take the key and bring it up 1 kilo here, 1 kilo here. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for you, but let's take it up another kilo. We'll go 2 kilos all the way down. We're cranking it since I feel like you need it. Okay, and let's check the tensioner though. Let's check the tensioner. Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. 32. Hang on to that for me. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. 32. Oh, back to normal. Or close to normal. 47 pounds.
Nice.
Okay, let's go. Let's get you some control.
Let's do it.
Alright, I feel like I'm losing a little control now. Let's see what my tension is at. One below. Right there. One over. Okay. Gotta remember how to hold this thing. 30. Take the key to my tension. Do I want to go 1 click? 1 click? Or 2 clicks? Well, let's just see what 1 click does first. It said 30. $33. Ooh. I think that's all I need. We'll just go with 33 for now.
All right, so Coach Jerod and I both use the key to our tension from the Retensers. You saw with the ERT 300 that we actually raised the tension on both of our rackets. Now, Coach Jerod, tell me what happened before and then what happened after we added tension to your racket. Like, we added how much? We got the white going on of tension to your strings. Tell them.
Yeah, so the Retenser, I was actually a little bit skeptical at first when Harry told me about this technology. I was like, oh, there's no way you're putting, two little things on the bottom of the racket. It's going to, tension the whole string bed and whatnot. So as soon as Harry did it, as you guys saw from the video, the tension actually did go up, and I was actually thoroughly impressed. And as soon as the play test happened, it definitely works very well. So as I told Harry, you can definitely feel the tension loss after you play with the strings in your racket for a little bit. Once in a while, people are always craving a little bit more control, a little bit more feel. They kind of like that, new string, new string job in your racket. So with the Retenser, as soon as Harry tightened this thing up, it brought it back to that new string feel again. So I think we had it at roughly around 40, 42 pounds when the string was kind of used a little bit, and Harry brought it back up to 47, 48, and it played just like 47, 48, which is amazing. So if you guys are looking for something to kind of save your string or add a little bit more control to your gameplay on the court while you're playing in a match, I'd highly recommend this tool itself. Overall, thoroughly happy with it. Good stuff from Retenser.
All right. So I did this review with Goo and Chris before. I wanted you to do it because you're ultra sensitive to this stuff.
Yep.
So you felt like it was a fresh string job when I tightened it up.
I did.
Yep.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, it worked very well.
Okay.
Very well.
So because your normal tension is 48.
Yes.
Right? So it brought it right up to 47 according to the ERT. I did full cranks on yours because it was down to 40. Now,
yes.
On mine, I did a half crank because you have the 1 kilo per crank thing with 2 kilos max. So I added 2 kilos to your string bed. On mine, I have the orange ones, which is 1 crank is 1.5 kilos with a total of 3 total. I did a 1 crank thing, and as on that first ball, I don't know if you saw it. I fenced it, but but I heard the ping back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, refresh. So it was just like a fresh string job again, and which I love, especially on this 20 gauge tour bite.
20 gauge.
20 gauge.
You going 20 gauge string now?
I'm going 20 gauge, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to break my strings. And this Retenser is going to help me. So guys, if you want to, tighten up your strings on the fly, right? Whether it be the blue, which is half a kilo per crank with a total of 1 kilo, or the white one, which Coach Jerod has, 1 kilo per crank, 2 kilos total possible. Mine's is 1.5 per 3 total. Okay? All you need is this. I got questions about the weight. This thing weighs almost nothing, so don't worry about it. It looks like it's a heavy contraption, but it's hollow but strong. Okay? It's probably less than a dampener, to tell you the truth. All right. Coach Jerod is a believer. And tell them where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Tennis.
All right. Thank you, Coach, as always. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.